Now, let's start off with something very important, something hot. Now, you guys know this whole Young Thug and Gunna situation. Now, a lot of us are under the assumption that Gunna is a snitch. Everybody's taking that approach, taking that side of things, that Gunna is a snitch, right? The general consensus, general public, right? Now, keep in mind, the general public has not been through court proceedings. The average American has not been through court, and especially to the degree that these guys are in, when you had to select a jury, when you had to sit down for months. I'm not talking about your common cases, your common traffic violations, little misdemeanor cases. I'm talking about real cases. The average person in America, consensus, the average person in America has not been through it to a degree that Young Thug and Gunna are going through, right? Now, you know, Gunna took a plea agreement. Now, a lot of us don't know the stipulations to Gunna's plea agreement, but we still took a side on this, right? A lot of us do not know what is actually taking place. We don't know the rules in the court system. We don't know law like that, but we still find a way to take sides. We took a side in this. Now, some people are siding with Young Thug for obvious reasons. People saying, damn, Young Thug, damn, Gunna, Thug put you on. You was down with the Thug shit, and then now you copping pleas. In the plea agreement, let's make this clear. In the plea agreement, Gunna said YSL, he admitted to YSL being a gang. Yeah, he admitted to YSL being a gang. And a lot of us feel like that was super incriminating at the time. A lot of us feel like that was heavy incriminating. That was enough to close the casket. That was enough to seal the deal, to hit the nail and close the casket for Young Thug. So a lot of us feel like Gunna threw Young Thug under the bus, right? That's the general consensus, the general public. Now, remember, the general public is ignorant to the court proceedings, period. Like I said, the average American, the average person has not been through those type of court proceedings and to that degree, all right? So it's a little bit of an ignorant take on things. But nonetheless, now, these two gentlemen, it's two-sided with them also. Young Thug hasn't done nothing to dispel the misconception, if there is a misconception. Young Thug is playing into it, right? So it's safe to say that Young Thug feels the same way that the general public feels about Gunna. So what he's leading people to believe. That's what Young Thug is leading people to believe. But now, contrary to how Young Thug feel, you got Gunna. Gunna's having shows. Gunna is bigger than ever since he got released. Let's make this clear. Gunna is the biggest artist ever since this whole indictment and being released. He's bigger than before, right? But Gunna is still saying free Thug. Gunna is still saying free Jeffrey. So contrary to what Thug is leading people to believe, contrary to the whole consensus of the general public, Gunna is still saying free Jeffrey. So there's a conflict of interest there. There's a conflict there. Is it that Gunna is just naive to Young Thug, not rocking with him no more? Is it that Gunna is licking boots? He's just a yes man? Is Gunna just pleading his way back into Young Thug's good graces? Or is it something else? I think you guys might be getting what I'm. Let me elaborate even more. All right. It's not just Gunna. It's not just a Young Thug. It's not just the general public that's against Gunna and what he did. And not everybody's against Gunna, because some people are with Gunna. Before I even say what I'm going to say, some people are with Gunna, okay? Obviously, because Gunna is selling out arenas. Barclays Center, Gunna is selling out arenas. Gunna is top of the charts with his new project. Gunna is bigger than ever. Let's make this clear, okay? And people are slowly coming out the closet and collaborating with Gunna. We're going to elaborate on this, all right? Now, Lil Baby is Young Thug's partner, okay? That's a partner of his. Young Thug he inducted Lil Baby into the game. Young Thug offered Lil Baby money to get out of the streets because he believed in his talent. This is the story. He believed in Lil Baby's talent, so Gunna offered Baby some bands because he knew that Baby made money in the streets. So in order to get him to leave the streets and come into the rap game, he had to compensate for that man what he would be missing in the streets financially. So Gunna offered Baby bands, I think 30 bands or more, whatever. I don't know for what time period or whatever. He was offering the man money to come out of the streets and get into this rap realm, this rap-ish, right? So Lil Baby's been talking. Now you guys know Lil Baby got projects with Gunna. He got projects with Gunna. Lil Baby has made it clear and left no room for misconception, no room for speculating. He said that he's saying things like calling Gunna a snitch. He's speaking about Gunna in a disparaging way. All right. Well, recently he said something about Gunna. Now you have Lil Baby's father. Young Thug's father. Young Thug's father stepped in. All right. In which, what we have here? Let me see what Young Thug's father. I wrote it down here too. Young Thug's father said, "Baby need a STFU." All right. Young Thug's father, he said, "Little baby need a STFU. Shut the fuck up." Okay, that's acronym for shut the fuck up. All right. Now, contrary to everybody's belief, right? That's a little bit confusing. That shit leads people. I'm confused at this point, right? He's telling them shut the F up. And then he said, "Little baby, you haven't been to not one court date." So Young Thug's father, Jeffrey's father, said Lil Baby hasn't been to one court date. He needs the STFU. Okay? So that's stuff like that leaves me a bit confused. Hold on, make sure that thing's plugged in correctly. All right. So with that being said, he said he need to shut the hell up. Now, there's other people that's been speaking against Gunna too, right? But nonetheless, with all that being said, what is it that Thugger's father knows? Thugger's father knows something that we don't know, obviously, right? Now I know he speaks to his son. Obviously, he's spoken to his son, but that's Thugger's father. If you seen that Gunna threw your son under the bus, or perceivably threw your son under the bus, right? I don't think he would be taking sides with Gunna. But obviously, he's taking sides with Gunna. He said other things about Gunna, how he feels about Gunna. He still embraces Gunna. So obviously, he does not approve of Lil Baby speaking about Gunna in that manner. All right? So there's some conflicting information here. It's what I'm trying to get to you guys. All right, now Thugger is still perpetuating this. I recall that Lil Baby at one point was saying something about Gunna, and Thugger was dropping a project, right? Lil Baby was speaking about Gunna. Thugger told Lil Baby to don't say nothing. If you're gonna say something, put it on my project. Now this is a key moment, right? This is a defining moment. So let me tell you something. Baby was talking about Gunna in music. Lil Baby was talking about Gunna in his music. Thugger told Lil Baby, hold up, don't say nothing. If you're gonna say something, say it on my project. I don't think you guys know where I'm going with this, but some people, great minds think alike, some people are catching to what I'm saying. So what I'm trying to say is, you guys, there's some deliberate confusion going on here. Now, a little bulb went off at the top of my head, a bulb, that bulb. And I started thinking, because right now my brain is scrambled. There's a lot of conflicting information, conflicting messages going on. A lot of contradiction here. And by not necessarily on the parties, but the people that surrounding the parties. Because there's a lot of people that are picking one side, picking the other, but the people that you would think would pick sides, they're not picking the sides that you would presumably think they would pick, right? I'm starting to feel like this. I'm going to get to the point right now. I'm starting to feel like Thugger is trying to make money off of this whole Gunna situation. I'm starting to feel like Thugger does not really have an issue with Gunna. I'm starting to feel like this was all to generate money under the YSL umbrella. I'm starting to feel like when Thugger gets released, he's going to reunite with Gunna. Now, you guys, remember, I predicted this. I feel like Young Thug is going to reunite with Gunna. I feel like this is all being perpetuated. They're putting out they putting out this facade as if that they're at odds, as if they're beefing. In actuality, Thugger and Gunna are not beefing. Obviously, we know Gunna's not beefing with Thugger, but I'm starting to feel like Thugger's not beefing with Gunna. I feel like this was all for record sales. That's why they dropped the project at the same time. Let me tell you something. Thugger is diabolical. Young Thug is a diabolical man. Remember, I tell you guys. So a lot of people that's picking sides, I think you guys are all a part of their masquerade. Even me too. I think everybody that's picking a side in this, and I didn't pick no sides, but just me reporting on it, I'm a part of it, right? Because we're giving credence to whatever he's trying to project, right? We're making it that much relevant, and then we're amplifying what he's trying to say, which results in sales. So yes, I'm a part of it when you talk about the promotion of it. But nonetheless, I feel like Thugger really is rocking with Gunna. But they were trying to capitalize off of everybody's perception of their relationship at this point. They was trying to capitalize off everybody assuming that Gunna snitched on Thugger. Yes, family. Yes, and keep in mind, Thugger is diabolical. The slime is diabolical. Nonetheless, Thug, let me tell you something, y'all. Thug is diabolical. I don't care what anybody says. So if anybody can pull it off, Thug can pull it off. Nonetheless. So yes, you guys, what I'm trying to say is Thug and Gunna are not beefing. I'm under the assumption at this point right now, Thug and Gunna are not beefing. This is all a scheme. And in the grand scheme of things, they capitalizing off of this, the public's perception of what's going on in those courtrooms. And like I said, the general public don't even know nothing about courtrooms. The average American has not been through court proceedings like these guys have been through, like guys like me have been through. The average civilian has not been through that. So their opinion is not valid because you've never been through those situations. You've never been under that pressure, right? Nonetheless, I feel like they're going to be reunited at the end. Shout out to Gunna. First of all, Gunna's being more and more embraced by the general public. Gunna was seen in Dubai. Gunna had a show in Dubai in which he said again, free Jeffrey. So this is Gunna's campaign, free Jeffrey. Chris Brown went to that same show in Dubai where Gunna was at. So I don't know if they were just booked at the same show or they're in cahoots. But nonetheless, he ain't scared of being seen with Gunna. All right. Also, there's a recent picture of Offset being seen with Gunna. So Offset looks like he's embracing Gunna too. So contrary to what anybody is saying in the general public, those who know. If you know, you know. So don't get caught up in the propaganda is what I'm trying to say. If you don't get nothing from this, you guys, don't get caught up in the propaganda. When you guys judge things, you guys have to have common sense, even though common sense is not common. When you judge things, you guys got to judge things for yourself. Don't just adopt somebody else's perception. Don't just adopt somebody else's opinion. You got to know within yourself. You got to do that judgment within yourself. Keep that in mind. Don't be nobody's puppet. Because when you go off of general consensus, when you go off somebody else's opinion, you automatically thrust yourself into the position of a puppet. Because whatever their decision is your decision. Whatever their opinion is your opinion. And based off your opinion, that's how you're going to treat that person or thing. So don't be a puppet in society. Be able to formulate your own opinion and make your own judgment in situations. But you have to do a logical evaluation. I guess some people are not capable of logically evaluating situations, so they just take the easy route and adopt somebody else's opinion. But nonetheless, that does a disjustice. That's an injustice to the person that's actually being persecuted, the person that's actually being targeted. All right. But like I said, you guys, I don't think Thugger and Gunna is beefing in no way, shape, or form. I think they just projecting that. I think that's propaganda. I think they was just capitalizing off of sales, nonetheless. Now, you guys, That's enough of that. Shout out to Thug nonetheless. Shout out to Thug and shout out to Gunna nonetheless. Shout out to the whole YSL. Freedom boys. Freedom boys. Now, you guys do me a favor. Make sure you guys are sharing this podcast for me. Share this podcast. All right. This is episode number 67. All right. This is the second to last episode for the year of 2023. I was very sick today. I didn't plan on going on, but I did go on, you guys. All right. Next week, if God permits, if Most High permits, because nobody's promised tomorrow, Friday, next week, Friday will be our last podcast for the week. All right. Now, you guys, listen, make sure you guys are sharing this podcast. Every shepherd has his own flock. Share this and let everybody get involved and get acclimated to what's going on here. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button as soon as you guys come in the building. Don't be a ninja watcher. It's a person that be creeping and watching. Don't be no pocket watcher, because that's just a hater. And you definitely don't want to be a peeping Tom. You guys know what they do to peeping Toms. So do me a favor. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Leave a comment in the comment section. We call that leaving a fingerprint. Let me know that you're in the building. Make sure you guys leave a fingerprint in the comment section. That part. Shout out to L.O.T.S Approved Media Channel. We have over 500,000 views on the channel. Almost 600,000 views on the over 600,000 views on the channel. Over 600,000 views on the channel. That part. Yes, sir. And this is not this is real numbers. We didn't buy no views. Real numbers. That part. All right. Now, moving on. You guys. Oh, yeah. That's enough of that. All right, let's speak about this. Blueface. Speak about Mr. Blueface, all right? Now, you guys know this is a very entertaining dude. Blueface, all right? The Crip out of the West Coast. Now, Blueface, you guys already know Blueface was his baby mamas, Krayshawn, Rock, and Jade and Alexis, all right?